I'm Sarah. I read as Sora the Intuitive for Sky Messages by Sora. I am a tarot reader who specializes in past life readings. I also teach and mentor the tarot. I have two journals, one for learning the tarot and one for more learning yourself and deepening the connection with your deck. That one's a collaboration with Killer Pancake, who makes a couple of the decks I'll be reviewing. The reason I started this channel, and specifically this series, the tarot review series, is that I really want people to be able to have a connection. I want anyone who wants to do the tarot to be able to learn it. And a lot of times people get really frustrated because the first deck that they start using, they don't really connect with. And so I'm hoping that instead of getting frustrated or spending a lot of money on decks that they then realize they don't want, people can sort of start to learn what their style is, what theme they're looking for, what kind of imagery works for them, and help people find the right decks for them. I do believe that if there is a tarot deck out there, there is an audience for it. And if there is somebody who wants to learn, then there's definitely a deck for them. So this won't have star ratings. This won't be about what's good and bad. It'll be about the details, such as the guidebook, a level that it's good for, like basic to advanced. It will be, how close it is to the Rider-Waite or the Tarot de Marseille, or the Thoth for those who prefer that. And it will just give people a look and hopefully help them start to begin their journey. Or for those of us who have been on their journey for a while, but are thinking about new decks and testing out different things, give them a preview. So there are some of the decks behind me, but if there are any you're interested in, let me know. And let's get started. For this week's tarot deck review, we are looking at the Golden Girls tarot cards. It comes in this box, just a regular little tuck box. I, for reasons of keeping mine a little bit safer, use this. There is not a guidebook, but it does follow very closely to the Rider-Waite. So if you know the Golden Girls or the Rider-Waite, it is still actually very easy to read. It keeps to the traditional names for the suits and for the court cards. Now the cards themselves are smaller than your average tarot cards. This is a novelty deck. It is, I think it was $15. But it is a really cool deck. But because it is that sort of novelty deck, gift deck, it is much smaller than most tarot decks. While still being larger than a lot of the minis. I think it's about the same size as my Wild Unknown pocket deck. But it's still a great tool. It's a great tarot deck. As much as it was, a novelty item, they put a lot of thought into these, and that is very cool. The cards are also very sturdy, very easy to shuffle. I kind of like the size as I am someone with smaller hands. That works out really well for me. I love the way they took the themes and put it together. One of my favorites is this Five of Wands. And that is because it is a Rider-Waite based deck, and Rider-Waite tends to see the Five of Wands as competition. Whereas if you really look at the type of competition, and especially in older traditions, it's more that competition like with yourself, it's more training. And so I love that because they do want better scores on their bowling team, than the other one, but they're also working together. They are pushing each other to be their best. So it's such a great Five of Wands that they managed to put in there. I also love this Nine of Wands because I think of Sophia as that grit and resilience that is so embodied by that card. They do such a good job with matching up the cards with the right characters and themes. I wouldn't say that I wouldn't make any changes, but I definitely am really amazed at how well these are put together. As for who they're good for, anybody who is really into Golden Girls and tarot. Like I said, it really keeps to the themes, and it holds to like the show just as much as it does the tarot, and I really love that. It is great for people who know the Rider-Waite, even if you just sort of enjoy the show and don't know that much about it. If you know the Rider-Waite, it's pretty easy to read these. If you are a beginner, I do think this is a good deck, but I would say you will have to have a guidebook or some other resource or a course you're taking along with it, because there is no guidebook. You know, insert promo for my journals here. Just be sure that you are working with it. However, if you are a beginner and you are learning, but you really know the characters or the show, that can be a really big help in getting the understanding of the themes, because I have found that a lot of classes and a lot of resources only do keywords. And in fact, when I was teaching the tarot boot camp, it was mostly keywords because we didn't have a lot of time. With my beginners courses, they will be longer, but they will also cover things a lot more in depth like I would like. But the point there is that with keywords you can miss some nuance, and I feel like if you are learning that but you really, really know the Golden Girls, you can get some of that back. Of course, if you are called to the artwork for any reason, or if you're just looking for a really clean tarot deck, and by clean I mean like the clean lines, the simple designs, there's detail, but they're very portrait, very realistic type. So if you are looking for less metaphor in the imagery itself, that's pretty good for that as well. As I shuffle, I am going to thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing with anyone who is looking for a tarot deck or who likes the Golden Girls. If you would like more content like this earlier, or bonus content, please head over to the Patreon. If you would like to book your own reading, please head to my website or email me. I will not email you. I mean, I'll respond if you email me, but I will not contact you. No reader should be contacting you for a reading unless you ask for one. For more examples of my reading, check out the Pick a Pile, or rather the Readings for the Collective playlist, or my social media. And I think that is all. Oh, my journals. I do have a journal for learning the tarot, as well as a journal for learning to better connect with your deck and yourself. Information for both should be in the description. And let's get started. Just a quick and simple reading for the week. Starting with the Hanged Man. We're also going to have the Queen of Pentacles and the Page of Cups. So the Hanged Man is about a shift in perspectives. We have been looking at things one way for so long, and it has stopped working for us. Or even we've gotten a little bit stubborn, a little bit closed-minded towards other things, and he's asking to just open up a little bit, see a little bit of the other person's side. It's not about a complete 180, because that is usually not very long lasting, and if it is, it's really not that different. It's usually the same exact thing in different clothes. You can think of leaving one cult for another. What we're looking for is a subtle shift, the kind that can be lasting, the kind that leads to growth and open-mindedness. We have it with the Queen of Pentacles, and here we've got Blanche, and she is comfortable. She's got her bunny and her pentacle. The pentacles in as a suit represent money, financial, material, but also resources such as time and energy. And the Queen is at a place where she is comfortable enough that she can also provide comfort for others. I love this with the Hanged Man because we're talking about shift in perspective and seeing things from somebody else's perspective. This can be that reminder that just because you see that it looks like someone is better off than you, or it looks like they are in different circumstances, you don't actually know their whole story without getting to know them. So the Queen of Pentacles kind of offers this space for people to share that and for people to help each other out, because maybe they are better off in one way but not in another, and trying to find the ways in which we can use our resources to help others and they can help us in return can make things a lot easier and a lot more comfortable. Then we have that with the Page of Cups. I love Rose in this card so much because the Page of Cups is the dreamer card, you know, and she's the dreamy one. She's the one who gets kind of picked on for being naive, and with the pages we have that youthful energy, that curiosity, so it works really well. But she's also the one who is willing to look out and see different things in people and see different things in the future. And so the Page of Cups here has that feeling of thinking about what would you do, what you could do if you could balance those out. If you could find somebody who needed what you had and had what you needed, and you could build that kind of relationship that the Hanged Man and the Queen of Pentacles sort of indicates, where you can learn from each other and grow together. This is kind of asking almost like a journal entry prompt or a meditation prompt. What would you do if you weren't so limited by resources? So if you do this as a journal prompt or a journal post and you are willing to, please share, tag me. But it really is more of a private thing, and it's a great thing to think about. So hopefully you are able to do that this week. Thank you so much for sticking around, and have a wonderful week.